Hi, hello, welcome to Anushree Tutorials. In this video, we are going to learn about point and line. So, what is point? Point is the basic thing of geometry. See, to learn languages, we need to learn alphabets first. Same like that, for geometry, the alphabet is point. So, starting thing is point. The basic part of geometry we are calling as point. So, what is this point? A circle with a zero radius is called a point. So, what is a point? See, if you take a circle here, we have a radius. If you take a small circle here also, we have some radius. But what is a point? A point is a circle whose radius is 0. See here it is a point. It is a circle with 0 radius. So this is a point. So for point we don't have any length. No length and no breadth for point. That means there are no dimensions for point. So for point we don't have any dimensions. So what we have for point? For point we have only name. Only name is there for point. So what is the name for point? Capital letters we use to represent point. So capital letters, capital alphabets we use to represent point. So this point indicates us, it shows us a particular location on the plane. See, suppose if it is a plane, in this plane it shows a particular position or particular location. To represent a particular location, we use point. Now, see here, in my plane I have infinite number of points. If I join this infinite number of points, see if I join points on my plane, I'll get a line. By joining infinite number of points on a plane, we get a line. See here also I have infinite number of points on my plane. By joining some of the points in that, I got a line. See here, this AB is a line and this one also a line only. So to represent, see, still it continues in this direction. That's why we are showing like this with an arrow mark. And it continues in this direction also. Because after this board, still it is continuous. Still points are there in this direction. That's why to show the continuity we use this arrow mark on the both sides. Now see here, this is also a line. To show its continuity we use arrow marks at the ends. So what is the difference between these two lines? It goes in a straight way. This line is going in a straight way. That's why this line we are calling as a straight line. It is a straight line and this line is changing its direction. See here, the direction is changing. So the line which changes its direction is called a curved line. So what are the two types of lines here? Curved line and straight line. What is a straight line? A line which does not changes its direction. Straight line is nothing but a line which does not change its direction. See, direction is not changing here. So this line we are calling as straight line. And a line which changes its direction. Here the line is changing its direction. Changes its direction. So that line we are calling as curved line. Now see how to represent a line. See here I have a line. Line means the basic thing, two arrow marks will be there. Because it is extending in two directions. So what it has? The line has only length. Only one measurement it is, that is length. No breadth is there for a line. And one more thing, we cannot find the length of a line because it is continuous infinitely. So it is not possible to measure length of a line. So how to represent this line? Take any 2 points on the line. See here, 2 points are there. That 2 points I am considering as A and B. Any 2 points. See here, infinite number of points are there on the line. So in these infinite number of points, I am considering A and B 2 points. So A and B 2 points I am considering. So AB. Upon AB I am representing a line. So like this we will represent a line. How to read this? Line AB. We read this as line AB. So now again, see here we have a line which extends in both the directions, and here I have a point A and here O, and here I have another point B. So in this line I am taking only a part, that is from O to I am considering. So here the starting point is O and any point on the line is B. Now see here, a part of line which extends in one direction infinitely is called a ray. A part of a line which extends infinitely in one direction, only in one direction it extends, that we are calling as ray. Now one more thing, a part of line which does not extend, see from one starting point to one ending point I am considering. This is also part of line only and which is not extending. This part of line we are calling as segment. What it is? Segment, line segment we are calling. So line means it extends in both the directions. A part of line which extends only one direction is called ray. A part of line which does not extend is called segment. Now see the difference between line, ray and line segment. See how to represent a line. So my line indicates it extends in both the directions and have infinite points on the line. I am considering any 2 points. So this we represent as AB upon a line. And what is a ray? A part of line which have a starting point and extends on one direction infinitely. So how to write name? Starting point and any point on the line we are considering. So OB upon ray symbol we represent. So what is a line segment? A part of a line which has a starting point and ending point. In between these two also number of points are there. So this we are calling as line segment. This line segment we are representing with the starting point and ending point upon one line segment symbol. Like this we will represent line, ray and line segment. Now length. It is not possible to measure length of a line because it extends infinitely. So it is not possible to measure. Coming to ray. For ray also we know starting point, but we don't know any ending point to measure. So for ray also it is not possible to measure length. Now coming to line segment. See for line segment we have a starting point and ending point also. So for line segment we can measure the length. Now see the next one, extends. See, line extends in two directions. In two directions the line extends in both the sides. A ray extends only in one direction. Ray may be this side or maybe this side. Only one direction it extends. Line segment it does not extends. Line segment does not extends. It has a fixed length. It does not extends. Now see the one more point. How many end points are there? How many end points are there? See for line we don't have end points. Zero end points. No end points are there. It extends infinitely. Coming to ray we have one end point. That is starting point we know. We have an end point. Line segment we have two end points. Starting point we know. Ending point also we know. We have two end points for line segment. So this is the basic thing about line, ray and line segment. Now see the types of lines. We have different types of lines. See in that the first one is parallel lines. Parallel lines. See what are the parallel lines? If two lines in the same plane. See these two lines we have and these two lines also are in the same plane. The two lines in the same plane which does not intersect at any point. If these two does not intersect at any point, then these lines we are calling as parallel lines. The two lines in the same plane which does not intersect at any point, and the distance between these two lines will remain same at any point. See this distance must be same at any point. then we are calling these two lines, line AB and line CD are parallel to each other. Now see once again, what is a parallel lines? The lines which are in the same plane. See, remember these two must be in the same plane. Which are in the same plane, which does not intersect at any point of the plane. If you consider this is a plane, in this plane these two lines are not intersecting at any point, and the distance between these two lines remains same. It remains constant. The distance is not changing. So this type of lines we are calling as parallel lines. Now consider one more example. I have line AB here and I have line CD. These two lines also in the same plane, and these two are not intersecting in this plane. In the plane which I am considering, there these two lines are not intersecting. Shall we call these two are parallel lines? No, because the distance between these two lines in the plane is not same. Here the distance is more than this. So the distance is not a constant, it's not same. So these two lines we are calling. So these two are not parallel lines. So parallel lines means the two lines which does not intersect at any place and the distance between the lines must be constant. Then we are calling these lines are parallel. See here, the first line is AB and the second line is CD. AB is parallel to CD. So for this parallel we use this symbol parallel. Two straight lines we use. So how to read this as? Line AB is parallel to line CD. So like this we represent parallel lines. Now the second one is intersecting lines. If two lines meets at a point, then the two lines are called intersecting lines. See here I have two lines. Here my point A and here I have point B. Here I have point X and here I have point Y. If I consider line AB and line XY, these two lines are intersecting at this point. See here, this point I am considering as O. These two lines are intersecting at a point. So this type of lines we are calling as intersecting lines. If two lines meets at a point or touches at a point or intersect at a point, then that lines we are calling as intersecting lines. And the point, this point where these two lines are intersects, this point we are calling as point of intersection. What we are calling that point? That point where the two lines are intersecting or where the two lines are meets, that point we are calling as point of intersection. So this is about intersecting lines. Now see the third type, that is concurrent lines. If three or more lines, see here I have a line AB and one more line I have CD and one more line I have XY. So three lines intersects at the same point. If three or more lines intersects or meets at a point, then these lines we are calling as concurrent lines. If two lines intersects, that we are calling as intersecting lines. Three or more lines intersects at a point, then these lines we are calling as concurrent lines. Now see the fourth type, perpendicular lines. If two lines intersects at right angles, see here I have a line AB and one more line is there, line XY. So these two lines are intersecting at a point, and how it is intersecting? Intersecting at right angles. If I measure the angle between these two lines, it must be 90 degrees. If two lines intersects at right angles, then these lines we are calling as perpendicular lines. So how to represent this? Line AB is perpendicular to line XY. So this symbol we use to represent perpendicularity. So this is the symbol of perpendicularity. Perpendicular to symbol is this. Okay. Now see the last type, that is transversal line. So what is a transversal line? A line intersects two or more lines. See here I have two lines, line AB and line CD. I have two lines. One more line is there. That line intersects these two lines. That is line MN intersects line AB and line CD at a distinct point. See, in separate points. At separate points it is intersecting. Then this line, the line MN we are calling as transversal. A line which intersects two or more lines at distinct points. Then that line we are calling as transversal line. Now see what we discussed up to now. We discussed about point. A point which does not have any measurements, any dimensions. It has only name, and with the capital letters we will represent it. And it is used to locate a particular location or particular position. We use point. And coming to line, a line is nothing but by joining infinite numbers in a plane we will get a line. So a part of line we are calling as a ray and line segment. So line extends in both the directions. A ray extends only in one direction. Segment, it does not extend in any direction. Line does not have any endpoints. Ray has one endpoint. Segment has two endpoints. So it is possible to measure the segment's length. Now coming to different types of lines. Straight line. Straight line means a line which does not changes its direction. Curved line, a line which changes its direction. Coming to parallel lines. If two lines does not meet at any point in the plane and the distance between these two lines remains constant, then that lines we are calling as parallel lines, and we use this symbol to represent parallel lines. Coming to perpendicular lines, if two lines intersect at right angles, then we call that lines as perpendicular lines, and we use this symbol to represent perpendicularity. Now coming to intersecting lines, if two lines intersects at a point, meets at a point, then that lines we are calling as intersecting lines, and this point we are calling as intersecting point. Concurrent lines means if three or more lines intersects at the same point, then we are calling these lines are concurrent lines, and this point we are calling as concurrent point. See, if two lines intersects, we are calling it as intersecting line. Two or more lines intersect, three or more lines intersects, we are calling it as concurrent lines. Coming to transversal, a line which intersects two or more lines in distinct points. See, here also three lines are there, here also three lines are there. But concurrent line means three lines are intersecting at the same point. Transversal means this transversal line intersects these two lines at distinct points. So that line we are calling as transversal line. So these are the things we discussed in geometry in this video. Hope you understand. Thank you.